Hello there, welcome to a tyke farming in the Philippines. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ding-a-ling-ding-dong the bell. It's Friday morning, 9:30. I'm a little bit later starting this morning. We had heavy rain again last night. This morning was very cloudy. A little bit of light rain. The forecast is 70% chance of rain, so I wasn't very hopeful about today. So I left it a while to see what the weather would do, and the sun's out, it's brightened up. Still cloud about, but it's looking quite good. In so much that the cloud might burn off. So I'm a bit more hopeful at the minute that we'll get some work done on the house. So as usual, I'll make 2 or 3 videos throughout the day, and I'll get back to you shortly. So I've turned the camera around. I made a video on Wednesday, I think, a clip. Down the piggery at 8:30 it was, feeding the pigs. Well, I'll put that clip in after this one, because the video I make today after this one, I'll be talking about feed and what my idea is and what I think's happening with the pigs down there. So I'll put that in next after this one. So we're on the roof. They've been doing a bit of digging this morning before they got organised, and we're continuing with that apex at the front. They've got the safety harness on, which is good. They're not clipped on, but they're on a good platform, and they're 10 foot off the ground. But Win was clipped on when they was welding that angle iron to the top of that post. It's there if they want to use it, it's up to them. But when they're off that platform, off that scaffolding, they are using it, which is a good thing. So I'll leave this video there, and I'll make another one shortly. It's still Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock at night. We finished work this afternoon. It started to rain about 4:20, light rain, and then from 5 o'clock onwards, 5:30 onwards, whatever it was, we've had some very heavy rain. Everything's soaking wet. Couldn't hear the television for the rain on the roof. But it's fined up now at the minute. Whether there's more to come or not, I don't know. But I thought I'd do a video again, what I do of an evening time, i.e. locking up the chickens, which we'll do first. Just one tonight. We normally get 3 or 4 chickens there roosting. I used to pick them up and put them inside, but I just leave them where they're at now. Just check they've got water, which they have. So we'll lock them up. Now we'll do the pigs. Oh, you're walking. Normally they're all laid down this time, you know. There's a bit of feed in the trough, but I'll give them a bit more. These piglets are always looking for feed, and there's very little to nothing in there, so I'm looking for a scoop. But whenever you come to the front of the pen, they come up and they start eating again. They just associate people with food. They probably don't even want it. But it's all gone by morning. So that's about 4 scoops for them. And I'll just put the phone down a minute, or maybe I can stick it up there. Probably fall over. This one went in a bucket. Yeah. Rinse the bucket out, and then it's ready for wind to make a new one for it. More or less clean. Then the little pigs. Which one we're going to use? One in the top, so they all get covered in feed. But it doesn't matter because when they go away from the trough, and lay down, other pigs come up to them and lick it all off them. But you'd think they'd never been fed. It's like all young animals, even kids, there's no fill in them. They're covered. They're covered in feed. chickens over there, the light will go off automatically 10:30, 11 o'clock. But in here, these two lights are on all night. So I'll add this clip to tomorrow's video and we'll leave it there for now. I'm back down the piggery. You'll have seen the clip just before this of when I was down the piggery on Wednesday night, I think it was, feeding the pigs. And last night I fed the pigs quite a lot of feed with these piglets. It was all gone in the trough this morning. Wind's fed them this morning. The troughs are empty again. Now when we first got last time round piglets in, we were having problems with scouring, and the consensus of opinion was we were overfeeding them on dry feed, because the piglets were coming to us and they had very little to no feed other than off the mothers, and this is why we were getting the problem with scouring. And I think that was a lot of truth. There was a lot of truth in that. But this time with these pigs and these piglets, and hopefully there's going to be more piglets coming in shortly, we've had no problem at all with scouring. With these ones with a couple of little spots, which was gone the next day. With these piglets, and these are very tiny piglets, we've had no scouring whatsoever. Now, I can only put it down to the feed, the way we're feeding them, i.e. fermented feed. My opinion is I'm quite sold on it. But when I was feeding them on Wednesday night and the amount I was feeding them, my brain started ticking over and thinking about things again. And all this week I've been feeding these pigs quite a lot of food, even the big ones. So thinking about it, like I say, I'm quite sold on this fermented feed. And for the chickens last week, last 10 days, wasn't working so well because it was too runny. Now we're making the feed for the chickens drier. But when them chickens came in and we had them in a brooding pen, we'd only 4 die out of 105, which was good in chickens of that age. So I think the fermented feed was a big benefit to them as well. Now you'll have seen me last night washing out the empty bucket and tipping the water in the trough. And if you've only fed dry feed, that's maybe something you think is a bit strange. But when I was a young fella, all pigs were fed wet feed. Still are in Eastern Europe, Russia, these places. They have what they call kitchens in the farmhouse. A lot of the pigs in England are fed pig potatoes. But to get the amount of feed out the potatoes, they have to be boiled up, skins and all. If you just feed them raw to pigs, they get very little out of them. Unlike cattle, ruminants, they feed potatoes to dairy cattle when they're cheap enough, raw, and then they ruminate and get all the value out of the potatoes. They love potatoes, the cattle, as pigs do. But the pigs are a bit different. They're not ruminants. They've got to be boiled. Now at primary school, we had school meals, 3 school meals, not long after the war. All that waste from the cookhouse went to, a fella collected it, went to pigs. and that was boiled up again to kill any bugs in the feed, and fed to pigs as swill. So it's quite natural to me to feed swill. That's all ended now in the UK and the rest of Europe, I assume, with swine fever, because that was one of the causes of it, feeding food waste, particularly meat. The farmers still feed food waste, but nothing contained with meat from the supermarkets, because that's prohibited now by law. So feeding pigs full I'm quite happy with that. Now I got to thinking last night, with these pigs, they're 80 kilos plus now, I would think, and we're still getting as much into them as we can. But it occurred to me, if we carry on like that, with the pigs we're going to keep for farrowing, the gilts we're going to keep, if we keep feeding them as much as we can get into them, then we're going to make them fat. And we don't want that. We want enough weight on them for farrow pigs. We don't want them overweight, which will work against us. Now these pigs are still on grower. 235 days. I don't know offhand how old they are, but they've still got a fair way to go. They'll probably reach 100 kilos on bloody grower the way they're going. And then you go on to finisher. So I'm thinking when we're going on to finisher and they've stopped growing, we'll stop ad lib feeding them and go more to the recommended weights intake, which is on finisher is 2.2 to 2.5 kilos a day. I think that's what we'll still feed them fermented feed, but we'll not overfeed them. We don't want fat pigs, which is the fat overweight pigs is going to be detrimental to farrowing. So I'm thinking that's what we will do. But in the meantime, while they're on grower and they're still growing, because they're still young pigs, don't forget, we'll get as much into them as we can. And I've seen videos where they say 50% saving on feed costs, and I was sceptical on that, but a 10% saving would be worthwhile. But now I can see that we'll probably get more than 10%, maybe even up to 50% saving on feed, because we're buying more feed in at this age, but they're growing up, they're putting on the weight so quickly that when they come to butchering, if you work back how much feed they've had on the lifetime, that's where the saving will be, not on your cost of feeding, which is more on this system while you're growing them, if that makes any sense. Be interesting to know what you think in the comments. Give me more food for thought, especially critical comments, because I'm thinking all the time, and I want to learn all the time. But these pigs we've had in this time round, the large ones there, and even these small ones which came in very, very small, I didn't think much of them at all. I can see that this system is working. These are turning into nice pigs, and I think the next time we weigh them, as I was saying, we'll beat that predicted weight off the feed manufacturers, no problem. I mean, some of these pigs, I think there was 3 of them over 25 kilos, well over that. But the very small ones dragged the average weight down. I think probably all them 5 are, excuse me, 22, 23, 25 pre-loads. And they were the smaller ones, and they're looking very good to me. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll leave this video there and do another one maybe in half an hour at lunchtime and show you what we've done on the house this morning. So it's 20 minutes to lunchtime. You can see we've got the apex, whatever you call it, just about up. I'll go back here, step back a bit. And you can maybe see the perspective of the roof now, with the difference it'll make. Now we got away this morning with no rain, but there's lots of cloud about. So we might be interrupted again, fingers crossed. Now from where Win is, or the end of the apex, the roof will be sloping this way, forwards. So that will look good from the front of the house as well. I'm sure it'll all tie in. Yeah, I showed her that photograph. That's all Win is working off. The visual of that, he's got the blueprints for the official plans and his own knowledge, and I've every confidence in him. It's 5 o'clock. We've had a good day. It's kept fine all day. Lots of cloud about. No doubt we'll get rain overnight, but we've managed to get through the day with no rain. We've had power on, so it's been a good day. Chickens are fed. They've got clean water. So we'll go and see what we've done today. I think Ramel's finished painting. 2 days he's been painting. All them are painted. All those are painted. I'll go back here. We've got the front apex on. Lunchtime, as you've seen in the earlier clip. And we've been working on the other end truss. Tied up with a string line. So they moved from the front of the house with all the purlins which they're using as scaffolding to the rear. String lines plumbed up and braced up, and we've got just short of half of that truss done. So they'll be on that tomorrow. So yeah, we've got on well. The first truck, it took them a day to do half and then a day to do the other half. Today we've got the front apex truss done and nearly half of this. They get quicker as they go along. The first one takes a bit of figuring out, I suppose. So yeah, we've done well. So I'll go and check the chickens and then I'll check the pigs. Plenty of water. They're being fed. Clean water in here. Bit of feeding this side, not so much. Plenty feeding that side in clean water. I'll have a look at the chickens in here. These are overlooked. They put feed in. I put feed and water in earlier on, but I need to fill up the water again. I put a bowl of dry feed in because I've forgotten this morning. And they've eaten all that and they've got a bowl of fermented feed there, so they're right. Piglets are fed, there's plenty of feed in the trough. Cleaned out, plenty of feed in that trough. These are obviously full, they're sleeping it off. Fair bit of feed in that trough. Wind's obviously giving them more. So I'll come down tonight, I'll top them up if they need topped up. If they don't, I won't, obviously. But I have been feeding them quite a bit of feed, these pigs, at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it's all been gone by morning, so I'll make sure there's plenty in the trough. So yeah, I'll leave this video there, and we'll do it all again tomorrow.